Welcome to the Roost News Podcast, All Things Volunteer. I am Judee Barone, co-lead of the Roost News Podcast team. Today we are speaking with Vanella Basilio, who is the program director for the Ethel group, Aaliyah Stewart, project manager, Josephine Keelis Negroni, who is the part of the Ethel Leadership Circle, and Lisa Marcelino, who is a volunteer in Kentuckiana, part Kentucky, part Indiana. So welcome to all of you. And we are talking today about the Ethel Social Gathering Group and bringing together it online and in person. So let's start with Vanella. If you could please introduce yourself and your path through AARP.
Sure. Thanks, Judee. It's great to be here. I'm Vanella Basilio. I am the program director for the Ethel Gathering Groups and part of the Fun and Fulfillment team at AARP. I've been with AARP for 8 years. I started in 2017, and so have evolved within the Fun and Fulfillment team that has taken me here to leading the Ethel Gathering Group strategy and program.
Excellent. Aaliyah, if you'd like to go next.
Project manager on the Ethel Gathering groups and also on the Fun and Fulfillment team. I have been with AARP, which feels like a little longer sometimes than what it really is, and then some days shorter. But I've been with AARP for 3.5 years and have really enjoyed working with Vanella and the rest of our admin team and our lovely volunteers on the Ethel Gathering groups.
Excellent. Thank you. And Josephine, why don't you go next?
Thank you, Judee. I'm Josephine Keelis Negroni. I'm in the state of Washington, and I'm a proud AARP volunteer. I became an AARP member and then an AARP volunteer almost 2 years ago. And so my journey has been, emerging from the pandemic. I think a lot of us were looking for that social connectedness and a sense of purpose. And so when I saw the opportunity on the AARP website, I just thought, boy, the women in my area really need this group. So I jumped on the opportunity. AARP has just been an amazing place to bring my skills to combat the social isolation that I was facing and to create a sense of community for my local women here in the state of Washington. We're up to almost 1,200 women under less than 2 years, with 913 active as of this morning. So that's pretty good, and it speaks really loud to the need for these groups. And I'll just share that our AARP founder and namesake, Ethel Percy Andrus, knew that we needed to find each other and that we needed these groups way before some of us were even born, right? So what a legacy. I'm just really happy to and thankful to AARP for the opportunity to contribute my skills. This is a wonderful initiative. So thank you so much for having me today.
Certainly. Thank you. And last but not least, Lisa.
As you know, I'm Lisa Marcelino, and I am in charge of the Kentuckiana Ethels, which takes in most of Louisville and the outside areas, as well as southern Indiana. I actually came from a heartbreaking divorce right before COVID and then had COVID, and COVID took me right to my parents' house in Louisville, which was a move for me, and I ended up becoming their caregivers. So I was extremely isolated and going through, I called it a funk. And a friend of mine recommended the Ethel Circle online on Facebook. And that's kind of where I was living at the time, Facebook. And I just started thinking, well, there's a lot of people in Louisville. Maybe we need to have a lunch together. And I saw that other people were trying to do that. So without asking anybody at AARP, I just put together a lunch, and then it grew from there, and then it became structured. So since then, it's become a big part of my life. And even my parents, who are still with me at this point, know all about the Ethels and always want to know what we did and what day it is, and if I'm going out to lunch with Ethels or somebody else. So they see a new, renewed happiness for me. And it truly is. I've loved being a part of the group, and I'm grateful to have the opportunities to showcase it when I can.
Thank you. Thank you all. Great information and wonderful journeys, paths to where you are today. So, first question is, how did the Ethel Group start? What is its purpose? And how has it developed along the way? Anyone can answer.
So I can start with a little bit of the background of the Ethel and kind of how we came to where we are today. So the Ethel is a newsletter. It's edited by Shelley Emling, and she created the newsletter for women over 60 to sort of provide support and a place where, shows that aging isn't bad. It's great. It's great for everyone. There's a good, and there's good that comes with it. And from there, she started a Facebook page where she saw women engaging with the page and connecting. But it was a public page, and so anyone could join, and she wanted something more closed and space as a safe space for women. So she created the Ethel Circle closed Facebook group, which is where most of these women are. And she saw very early on that, they were eager to share with one another and started looking for ways to meet up. We found that, like Josephine and Lisa mentioned, that these women were lonely. They were divorced, they were empty nesters, and just looking for friendship and connection. And so that's where our team came in. Fun and Fulfillment's mission, and one of AARP's social mission is to help older adults combat social isolation. And we wanted to create an experience to help these women connect and meet one another. And so that's how the Ethel Gathering groups formed. And so there were groups that were kind of unofficially forming on their own, and we sort of just stepped in to create more of a structure and some training and provide resources from AARP so that to help these women connect with one another. And this initiative took off way faster than we ever expected or ever dreamed of. We started in November 2023, and then within a few months, we had 20 groups formed. And then by, I would say, June of last year, we had over 100 groups and several women just raising their hands to join these groups and be leaders and connect with one another. And so it's wonderful to hear the stories and to see how these groups have really helped women connect with one another. It's so great to hear stories like Lisa and Josephine.
Excellent. Anyone else? Please.
Fenella said it all. She
Okay.
gave us a great evolution of the Ethel Gathering groups.
Okay, very good. So I joined the Ethel Chicagoland group on Facebook, and I haven't been able to participate fully because I still have a day job. So I haven't quite been able to join everyone, but I am truly amazed at how many events there are weekly, monthly. So two-part question. First question is, how does someone join the Ethel group, And do you have to be an AARP member? So we'll start with that one.
You have to be an AARP member, but I'm counting on the AARP girls to say that.
Wow.
You're right. You are right. We were,
You,
you could say it. You don't have to be an AARP member. Would we like you to be an AARP member?
Yeah.
Of course. However, you don't have to be one.
Okay, I think that's important because I do have friends who are interested, but they're not AARP members. So I wanted to clarify that. So that's great. But when you are an AARP member, how do you direct them to Facebook, for example? I found out kind of by accident through something I was reading. So say do you stumble upon it, or do you have it in other resources of saying, hey, look, we have this Ethel gathering group?
um, the Ethel has a website, arpethel.com, and there's a place there where you can find community, and that's where you can look for your Ethel gathering group. But a lot of how people find the Ethels is through Facebook. So I don't know if Lisa or Josephine want to talk about how they've grown their group, because a lot of it has been organic or word of mouth or just through our volunteers, really.
Absolutely, absolutely, Fenella. It's, like you said earlier, Fenella said this earlier. These groups have just grown by leaps and bounds, and no one could have planned this or anticipated it. And so the groups are just growing organically. Word of mouth has been incredible. The women are sharing the best, shiniest toy and most fun opportunity they have had in a very long time. It's kind of like finding a renewed purpose. And so the word about these groups is just sharing among women. They're sharing our website. They're talking about us. We're doing stuff in our community. We are visible. And so people are just wanting to join the wave. It's just been amazing. It's like the best new thing in town, right?
And I do think a lot of it is the sharing with other women, because I had a classmate who heard about it but had not joined yet. And she's the one that actually told me about it because she had seen it on Facebook through another friend. So I joined before she did, and then I gave her, the accolades for helping me get involved. And of course, she had to join. And then in between, well, whenever, and I'm sure Josephine does this too, whenever we have events, we always say, bring a friend. If you're afraid to come alone the first time, just bring a friend. And sometimes, they come and they bring maybe one or two people, and that's how they grow. And some people had never even been on Facebook, but got on Facebook just because of the Ethel Circle. So it's it's a little bit of an education for some people that aren't on Facebook, but they've joined, and even if they don't have any friends other than Ethel's, and they don't want anything but Facebook Ethel Circle stuff, that's what they do, and that's enough. That's all I care about them doing is being involved with our group. So it's definitely, the kindness of others sharing the information. And AARP is, with the website, they're very helpful in helping you find a direct link to your area. So, people can just click on Kentucky and see who has the different groups in Kentucky and what's close to them.
Very good.
Absolutely. And we've done stuff in our community with our community partners. And so when we do those things like at libraries or community centers, stuff like that, we're always displaying our AARP Ethel sign, right? And so people know that we're there. We're a strong presence. They see all these women show up. A lot of us like to wear our pink. And so it's really obvious who we are, and people have joined us at events. They see our group, they approach us, they want to join us. So there's a lot of ways that the information is getting out there. It's like this amazing buzz, right? Everybody's talking about the Ethels.
Josephine, you bring up a good point. The Ethel groups that are in the Chicagoland area, mainly right now, we're meeting for lunch, coffee, etc. But you brought up the point of volunteering, and I think that's great. Is that something that any of you see possibly in the future, like expanding other than the traditional social gathering for a meal, for example?
Some of our groups, and it really all the groups are different, Judy, right? But some of the groups are in areas that lead more to different type of opportunities and
Mhm.
less of some, right? And so a lot of the groups are really already involved in local community volunteering projects and opportunities. And I want to go back to your earlier question. You don't have to be an AARP member to join an Ethel gathering group, but if you want to become a volunteer, if you want to do, if you want to become like an administrator or an organizer or one of those roles, you do have to become a member so that you can access the portal and get into all the wonderful training that we have available in our AARP portal. So yes, I was recently in where was I? I want to say I was in Wichita, Kansas, and the members of of the Ethel group over there had a wonderful opportunity to meet with the AARP leadership and even some of their executive council members for an opportunity to learn more about AARP and local opportunities. And it was an amazing experience. I think the potential is there, but I think it's kind of like on a personal basis what people are looking for, right? But the Ethel gathering groups are what I like to call our girls want to have fun group.
Love that.
And we're having a great time out there. Women are finding purpose. It's kind of like when you're a young kid and you go away for camp and you don't know anybody, right? But you just know you have to go. You're gonna meet amazing people there, and you're gonna have a wonderful time. That's kind of like this refinement for mature women now, an opportunity to get together, to do all those things that we've been wanting to do. Stop at those places you drove by on your way to work or a school activity, and you never had the opportunity to do that adult thing, right? We're doing all those fun things now as part of these gathering groups. So these groups, this initiative has been very, very, very responsive in meeting a very public need for mature women to get out of their cocoons, to meet other women, to access public resources, local opportunities, meet other women, right? And have fun, reclaim their dignity, their purpose, and live with fun.
Very good. So part two, you may have answered a little bit of this, but how do you select the Ethel group coordinators and then appoint them to each region? In Chicagoland, for example, there are literally 16 regions.
Not sure if they're selected
Yeah, so they're self kind of selected, right? So
Yes.
a
volunteer
lot of the
themselves.
ladies volunteer, which Josephine and Lisa have done. We have multiple different volunteer opportunities, so an organizer, an administrator, a host, and you're able to select what best fits you. Because the one thing that we want you to do, and what Josephine has definitely honed in on, is we want you to have fun. We want you to also connect to what you're doing because that's what volunteering is about. And it's also about building community. So, yes, we have a lot of regions in Chicagoland, and our Chicagoland groups are on fire in a great way. They are really just doing a lot of great things in their community, but we've been able to pare down their regions, and we have multiple organizers and hosts in different locations, and they all work together and plan and decide on the events that they're going to showcase to the group on Facebook and see who decides to come.
Very good.
Judy, I can't tell you how the women want to do this. They want to
Mhm.
step up. These are great opportunities for women to step up, to say, "Hey, I'm gonna use my leadership skills in my community. I'm gonna help us come together. We're gonna have fun, And so it's just been amazing to see the women stepping up to do these things.
Well, I just one personal note. I missed the Downton Abbey new movie group, and I am so mad at myself. But that was definitely one of those fun things I wanted to do. So hopefully there'll be something else like that.
Well,
But
here's a
anyway.
great plug. Here's a great plug. Fenella leads. Can you guys hear me? Here's a great plug. Fenella leads the Movies for Grown-Ups franchise, and
Okay,
that's
there you
also
go.
a part of the Fun and Fulfillment team. And so we really try to use that as a way of showcasing different movies, which Downtown Abbey was one, in local areas, and allow for that social connection. So we've also had some of our Ethels go to some of our free screenings and be able to have like a chance to see pre-releases. So Movies for Grown-Ups, look at it, take a look. We would
Mhm.
love for you to join us.
Very
Absolutely.
cool.
I want to say something real quick about that. You just, Aaliyah, that's really amazing that you said that because I almost forgot to mention, Judy. We share all of these AARP resources via our groups to our members also. So movies for grown-ups and all these other opportunities that are available, like in the virtual community center and all those fun things. These are also resources that we are making available to our members and that we're taking opportunity and occasion to maybe do a sip and paint together, watch an opera from home, So between the resources that AARP has, this group as a platform for us to gather, and the resources in our community, wow, what an empowering situation, right? For women. There's so much
Exactly.
to do. Yes.
Excellent. Thank you again for all that information.
Mhm.
So right now we're talking about Facebook, but do the athletes communicate and other social media platforms?
Well,
Please
I'll
don't be
just share.
shy.
Go ahead, anybody. I was just gonna share, like, for instance, in my group, we our information is coming across other platforms all the time because we include other local groups. We invite and we encourage the women in our group to join other local groups because the more the better, right? More access to resources. We're cross-posting our events. Our name, our groups are out there. Everybody's seeing us, right? When we go to an event at a library, when we're at the community center, when we go to restaurants, my goodness, 16, 20, 24 women deep, right? Well, how impressive is that? Are we coming across other platforms? Absolutely. We're everywhere. We're wearing stuff from the Ethel store. We have our pins, we have our bandanas, we have our coffee mugs, our shades. We are walking advertisements for this wonderful opportunity, literally.
Group is not,
Excellent.
excuse me, Judy. Our group is not high tech. So
Mhm.
we're pretty, we think we're very high tech if we master creating an event or staying on Facebook. So I'm trying really hard to let's focus on one thing at a time because some of them get a little verklempt and just keeping track of the activities and the different things that we want to do. But they are definitely aware of Facebook. And, I'd say this, and I don't mean it in any disrespect to our generation, but I think that we're kind of in that area pretty full time. Whereas my daughter is like, she's not on Facebook anymore. She's on Instagram and all of that stuff. So, I got on Facebook to keep track of my daughter. And so but that's all I did. So now that, 30 years later, I'm definitely still living Facebook. And I'm so proud because AARP and the Ethel Circle provides a lot of tech knowledge. They help a lot. Like even today, just learning how to do this background, we learned how to, create events. We learned how to make flyers. We learned how to make little business cards to take with us for our events, that kind of thing. So I'm a journalism major. I know how to make a flyer on, Google and all the different Microsoft products, but I don't necessarily know all the little services that are out there. And I think the Ethel Circle has provided a lot of training, and which is really, really helpful. And I'm grateful for that. But we're primarily, I don't know how some of these other groups have so many side groups. We primarily are lunch and we have a bunko group, and we have a mahjong group. And at our lunches, like coming up in November, we're going to have everybody's going to bring underwear, socks, gloves, and hats. They're invited to bring that so that we can take it to one of our shelters here in Louisville. We have a group of women. It's not part of the Ethels, but there is an Ethel that gets a group together to go make lasagna. They have a lasagna group that takes lasagna to the shelters periodically. And so she invites other Ethels to do that. So we have like these, like Josephine said earlier, it's all kind of different areas that people are interested in. And so if you have an Ethel that has something going on that she does regularly, we always invite her to participate, with the Ethels as well. We've definitely done the movies as a group. And that's been a lot of fun. And, and everybody, they go in there, and some people haven't been to a movie in ages. So they go in and they have the comfy seats and the cup holders and all that stuff. So it's always fun. I always go to the Ethel movie releases, because it's really a chance again for me to get out, escape. And so it's, we try to do as much as comes across. And we're fortunate to have an AARP Kentucky board member in our group. So she is sharing everything with us, Shred Day and the different resources, the scam alerts that they have, and the workshops to come and learn about how not to be scammed and those kinds of things. She's always getting us in the door first. So we're very grateful for that.
Well, that's great. That's, I certainly understand having Facebook as your primary social media, which is great. And also it shows, excuse me, I'm sorry. Also, it shows Facebook can be a good thing.
Right.
I'm so sorry. And then it shows how you, excuse me for one moment.
You want to take a pause for a second?
Yeah, excuse me. Sorry about that. My apologies to everyone and to people watching. But it also shows the, you want to say the cross pollination between these AARP staff and the volunteers and the group. So that's really great. There's a lot of intermingling. Sorry, not cross-pollination. Intermingling of everyone.
We knew what you meant, Judee.
Thank you. All right. So next question is, the Ethel groups are growing, expanding. Do you see any plans for the future?
Plans. I don't know. I have talked to Shelley at great length about these types of things, but I would like to see regional groups come together and maybe do projects together, like get the Indiana groups, all of the Kentucky groups, and maybe Ohio, that we would come together as a region and maybe have like a mini retreat convention, something, roundtable discussions, that kind of thing. It's a little, I know they have a lot of growing pains because we've come together so fast. And my background is in convention planning. So that was the next step for me with my group. But I know
noted about your background. Noted.
Yeah. That with Shelley. So I'd love to see something like that happen because I think that there's a lot of opportunities for people that, like, we have close to 800 people in our group, but we have the same 60 or 70 that participate, partly because they're the distance and the area groups haven't really bonded yet, but we are working on that. We're trying to get them together, but I'd like to see that in the future for the Ethels, where it's something that you have to look forward to, a regional gathering where we can meet even more people. But I know that's not the corporate goal or whatever, but that's my goal.
Lisa, I think you're right, and I think we need to keep dreaming big because every group is different. And for instance, in my state, up north, we have a group of women that have over 60 events a month. These women have gone on
Amazing.
Alaska cruises. They've gone with Ethel on the Go, which is another arm of the Ethel Gathering groups and the Ethel Circle, right? We are at 110 groups, 203 volunteers. 110 groups as of last Friday. That's a big whopping number of 47,283 members, right? That's a lot of women. So the potential for where we're going and what we're going to do is limitless. And I always tell the women in my group, our events are member driven. Whatever we need to do in our group to have fun, to meet our needs, to meet our community needs, or whatever it is that we want to do, that's what we're going to do. So, where are we going? We don't know. We're going to have fun, that's for sure.
And not only just fun, because we love a good time, but while we're having fun, we're going to build community because that's what it's all about. We're going to meet people where they are, and we're going to hopefully, try to get some of the Ethels that aren't participating participate more, and just continuously combat social isolation and, really just help people connect.
This initiative is providing a transformative, positive solution to the escalating need that mature women have to find each other as we come into this beautiful stage where we're enjoying longevity. We're living longer, we're retiring, our life is not over, it's a new chapter. So, yeah, it's like whatever we want to do, AARP is providing a perfect space for mature women to gather, to find themselves, to figure out that it's okay to be there, to trust each other. We're the best support for each other. We know that. Women support each other better than anybody else can. We listen to each other, right? So AARP has provided a wonderful opportunity for us to live our lives with intention, purpose, and fun. We're finding purpose in life. We're building community. We're reconnecting to all of these things that we used to do before with a new purpose, right? Because as we get older, we always want to contribute back to our communities, give back for all the things that we are grateful for. And AARP makes these opportunities available to all of us. So I'm just really, really thankful for this. If you know somebody that doesn't belong to an AARP Ethel Gathering group, please share with them because this is the hip thing now.
Just remember,
True.
Shelley, who's one of our leaders in charge of the whole Ethel everything. I remember her telling a story on one of the videos about a woman that was turning 70, I think, or 75. And she said, "Here I am again on my birthday." This was on the big Ethel Circle page. And, it's my birthday. And once again, I'm sitting here alone. No, nobody calling and no cards to open and just that kind of thing. And, within minutes, Shelley saw like hundreds of responses to this woman and people wanting to private message her and find out where she lived to bring her balloons or cookies or cake. And that, I think when Shelley tells that story, like I get weepy every single time because we have a couple group people in our group. One had an eye stroke and she is blind. So she still comes to Bunko because she has peripheral vision, but she has to use this great big magnifying glass with a light, and people are always, walking her to the bathroom or telling her that she got a bunko or whatever it has to be. But she comes in because she's made so many friends and she has people there that care about her, and there's another person that is going through cancer treatment, and she tells me, weekly, I send a little note to her to make sure she's doing okay. And she sends a note. She goes, "I miss my Ethels." She just wants to come to an Ethel lunch again. So sometimes the activities don't overwhelm us, but the kindness in the group really does. And I have given everybody in my group that I've come in contact with my personal cell phone. So sometimes I get messages, updates about people, and I don't even know who they're talking about or who they are. So I always go, can you just share me your name? Share with me your name or who you're talking about, because I get lots of messages. But I mean, as much as I'd love to expand it, those kinds of things make me feel really hopeful that there's so much more to be done in this group, mentally as well as physically.
Excellent. Such beautiful stories. And before we end this wonderful discussion, truly wonderful, um, anybody want to have any last words? Please do it.
I do.
Okay, great.
Okay, and then I'll let everybody else talk. I was fortunate enough to be part of a video for AARP, and because my story. And the one thing that I thought about before I was in the video was how truly I thought I was too old to make new friends. Because I went through my divorce at 60 and COVID was happening. And I realized after joining the Ethel group, you truly are never too old to make new friends. And I thought about moving to Pittsburgh after my divorce because that's where my daughter is. And I'm like, I'm too old to make new friends. But it is not true. And I've seen people sit in their cars and not be sure whether or not they should get out to go to the lunch. And I'll just go over and tap on and I say, are you an Ethel? I'm an Ethel, and I know now that I have to take that back, and that line isn't even in my vocabulary anymore. You are never too old, and you don't have to be best friends with everybody, but how nice to be able to walk into a restaurant and see familiar faces. Or if you don't, you see the name tags with the Ethel logo or whatever, joy that group is having, and you want to be a part of it. And nobody, once they walk through the door, and Josephine, I know you can tell that people this, that when you walk through the door, you're not alone anymore. So those are the things that I take away from the Ethels, and those are the things that I always tell people. And I'm an Italian, and I'm a hugger, so everybody gets hugged. And some people aren't sure about that, and I go, can I hug you? And I do, because I really want people to know that we care, that they're there. And so that's what I've taken away. And if I can give anybody that joy, then, I've made a difference. And that's really important. Next.
Yes, anyone else, please.
I would just like to say, I would like to give a big shout out to our Ethel admin team. We have a wonderful group of women that are supporting this initiative, supporting this group. There's only about, 4 or 5 of us. Fenella is our lead, and she's just been doing wonderful at our strategy and keeping us going. As you have all said throughout this time, we grew not just fast, but like the word is like rapidly, and it was just like, whoa. And then we have Emily Mathis, who is our Facebook manager, and then our sometimes called Ethel in Chief, Shelly Emling. And then we have a new member, Ramya. Ramya, I said your name right, who is our Ethel volunteer manager. And she's wonderful. And, you've heard the stats, and it's only a few of us, and we've been doing a lot of work with the ladies, and we just want to continue doing the best we can and give as many wonderful opportunities to help the community as we can. So, and we're thankful for everyone else that has partnered with us to allow for us to be successful. So shout out to the Ethel admin team.
Yeah, thanks, Leah. And to add on to that, we are small. The AARP staff is a small but mighty team, but we also, this program would not work without our volunteers. And we have a group of volunteer leaders. They're called our Ethel Leadership Circle. Josephine is one of them. And they help us, continue to evolve the program and help us, find ways to continuously grow and support all the volunteers there. But again, this program is only possible because of our volunteers and what they're doing out in their community and building these communities, and they're the ones fostering these friendships. And Lisa and Josephine are just 2 of over 200 that we have hosting events and combating social isolation on behalf of AARP. So we're so thankful for them. It's been a journey, and we're going to continue to ride this journey together. And we're excited to see the Ethel groups continue to grow. So Thank you, Lisa and Josephine.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you. I'll just
ladies.
echo what everybody said. Absolutely 100%. Thank you. I'm very grateful for the opportunity. AARP is a wonderful partner in our communities for us with the Ethel Gathering groups. Um, I'm just really happy to be part of this movement. So thank you, ladies, for everything that you do too. I really appreciate you all.
And my thanks to all of you, to all of our guests for sharing about the Ethel Group. And thank you to our audience for listening. Remember to visit the Roost News podcast on our YouTube channel, and also listen on your favorite audio platform. And everyone, please like and share along the way. And on behalf of the Roost News podcast team, we thank you.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And join an Ethel Gathering group near you.
Join us.